that the balls were actually underinflated for the kickers this past weekend between the Kansas City Chiefs and the New England Patriots. Now, obviously, that's not going to steal the headlines. Okay, people were talking about Kadarius Toney somehow having a ball bounce on the top of his head and going to the other team's hands the other way.
Bigger deal.
And they're talking about Travis Kelce getting triple teamed and not getting as many fantasy points as everybody expects or wants him to.
Yep.
And Patrick Mahomes showing emotion on the sideline. I want to talk about what is the problem in New England.
Okay.
Why are you singling out the kickers and attacking them? Let me tell you how the K-ball thing works. There's 7 of them going into each game. 7 of them. This is brand new, out of the box, 7 of them. They're numbered. Week 15-1. WK 15-2. WK 15-3, all the way to 7.
Sure.
Okay? 3 through 7 do not matter. Let me tell you why. Because you're given 30 minutes before the game, an equipment manager, one person representing each team, under the guidance of a referee, where you're allowed to have one brush and one towel, and you're allowed to break in the balls. Okay, for 30 minutes while you're being watched. Not allowed to utilize any extracurriculars, only sweat,
Right.
maybe a little spit,
Sure.
side of brush. Some equipment managers do well, and you got 30 minutes. Now, our guy, Frog, absolute dog. Now, Frog would have much better Christmas maybe than he would beforehand because of what he did. But if you're able to break those balls in, you're talking an extra 7 to 10 yards broken in balls, as opposed to balls 3 through 7 that are fresh out of a box and cooked. Normally, each equipment manager would take 1 ball. We got 1 ball. We're odd. You're the home team. You're 1. We're 2. Sweet. Those will be the balls we'll use. We'll break them in. We'll do our thing. Sometimes another team's kicker or punter will say, hey, our guy sucks. Okay, our guy sucks. So we'll say, all right, we'll just use ball 1 the entire time today. No big deal. There has been times where kickers have screwed over other kickers and like told K-ball person that was holding them to throw in ball 4 or ball 5 for like a game winner. And the football gods have come back and ruined those people's lives. That is something that has taken place. So the balls are a big deal. They're also very well known that these are the balls. There's a K-ball person that regulates them. There's only a few people that touch them, and it's the game. So for the New England Patriots, yet again,
Here we go.
to be in a conversation of zeroing in on a target and trying to kill them, like you guys did to Harrison Butker and Tommy Townsend. Okay, Harrison Butker hadn't missed a kick all year. Tommy Townsend, one of the best in the NFL. First half, these guys aren't having the performances that we're used to. Harrison Butker misses his first kick of the year.
Yeah.
First kick of the year. Ball goes to the right, and they closed in that stadium. It's a lot easier with the wind now than it was like 5 years ago. Butker doesn't miss that kick ever. Good snap, good hold, the kick, high, and then that thing slices out to the right. Wow. Actual movement from left to right. Wow. Then let's go to the Patriots kicker, shall we? Now, this guy misses a lot of kicks, but in the first half, boom, pulls this thing left. He misses the whole net. He misses the whole net. The whole net.
Yeah, that one got pushed.
So I'm not saying, okay, and that thing's still moving in the air.
Oh, yeah.
I'm not saying that Bill Belichick knew that this was happening.
Sure.
Well,
Because why would he send his kicker out, who is known to miss for a 40-some yarder with bad balls?
Love Chad.
But people need to know the operations of kicking, okay? So if you're an NFL kicker, that means you have a strong enough leg to be able to break through the barrier of the leather of the football. Normally pumped at like 13.1 PSI. This one was down at 11 PSI.
Oh my God.
So it's much softer. Kickers do not want a soft ball. Okay, that is not what kickers want at all. Now, if you do not have a strong leg and you don't have the ability to crack into the bladder, the air bladder inside of it through the leather, you will not want a hard ball because you're not able to indent it, okay? So you don't want the ball too hard, like a rock, because then you can't crack it, but you certainly want it as hard as possible if you're somebody who has a strong leg. If you have a strong leg and the ball's flat, that means your foot is breaking into the ball, okay? The ball is wrapping around your foot longer. Yeah. And then as it's being projected off your foot, it can... Okay, like it did with Harrison Butker, known massive leg. Or like Chad Ryland, hang on your foot a little bit too long. You're a righty, you spin, that thing hooks to the left.
Yeah.
This was an outright attack on the kickers and the punter. And for punters, the ball just, you're not going to be able to turn it over.
Yeah.
Just like baseball players who are good hitters, they want that ball coming in harder. Because what do they say, Tone?
Harder it comes in, harder it goes out.
Same thing with kicking with the balls. So quarterbacks want a softer ball. Kickers want a hard ball. And somehow you guys do things that only benefit you guys. And I'm not saying it's organizationally, but somebody's breaking into that building and trying to screw people. Yeah. And I don't like it one bit at all.
I mean, it didn't help us. We missed a field goal as well. And the funny thing about...
Yeah, but you guys always miss them.
Yeah, okay. Right. But once again, just like Bill with, Rodgers, we're not trying to do that. Also, Chad Ryland, there's a massive difference between those two missed field goals. Buckers turned right a little, and then it kept going straight on that angle, and it hit the net. Chad Ryland, as he does, he missed the entire net behind the field goal post. That's going to happen. Is that 11 PSI number actually real? Because if it is, and the referee picks up a ball that's supposed to be 2 PSI points after, that's on him. Now, also,
I would assume long snapper's the one that felt it, and also when you kick
how'd they get caught?
Punter, but as soon as there's been a couple balls that have snuck their ways into games that either had like a little bit of a leak or something. Now, I don't know if I could do it now, 6 years removed from it all. But as soon as you touch a ball, I knew exactly.
Like Giannis.
Exactly.
So they switched it, second half, did they switch the balls then?
Halftime, they got it figured out. I would assume they just inflated balls 1 and 2.
Is it possible that a ball loses that much air, Pat? Is it possible that a ball loses 2
especially
pounds
with the
of air?
weather? Bill Nye, the science guy, said that he took it into account.
Yeah, we went into this in the first Deflategate, and actually information was released after the punishment of Deflategate that they weren't deflated balls. It was the weather. But again, beside the point. But yeah, that can happen. I mean, we got to come in here and blow up these goddamn basketballs every
These balls
other day.
coming fresh out of a box, okay? They're being regulated by refs. I don't know how it continues to happen up there because anybody that's around balls literally knows. You know as soon as you feel. What was the question?
Aren't they under lock and key? Like you said,
Bingo.
30, and he's sitting there watching them do it, right? Yeah. So how do they get air in? How do they get air out?
There's a chance New England Patriots are getting painted in a bad narrative here.
Oh, you need a little needle. No one could even see it. All you need is one little needle and just jab that sucker in there a little bit.
Yeah, because if you do that's about half PSI right there.
Exactly.
No one's going to see that. No one can see you do that.
But why would they want to do that? They would want to tell.
Well, Bill slipped.
They would want to tell Bill then.
It's got to be weather. It has to be weather.
It's their own kicking ball. It's not like Bill's walking across like, hey, where's your guys' kicking ball? I just want to, see it for a second. Let's see how it feels.
Did they check them both right after, both misses? Is that how it came to light?
They're both in the first half, yeah. I would assume punter and long snapper were like, hey, those balls are not NFL balls. What are we doing here? That was why I hate Walt. That's why I hate Walt. Put ball 7 in. Walt Anderson when we were in London. Yeah. I caught it and I saw week 7 and I felt it. I'm like, what is this?